Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 52nd Annual St. Paul Police Law Enforcement Memorial Day Service. Please stand for the presentation of the colors.
Honor guard, up-10, who? Detail, up-10, who? Right shoulder, who? At the half step, forward, push. Breathe in. Hold. Detail. Breathe in. Up. Breathe in. Up. Detail. Hold. Rise. Heat. Align. Call up. Punch. Parade. Hit. Detail. Parade. Run.
It is my honor and my privilege to welcome all of you to the 52nd St. Paul Police Law Enforcement Memorial Service. My name is Axel Henry, and I'm the Patrol Commander for the Central District of the St. Paul Police Department. This annual service is in conjunction with local, state, and national recognition of the sacrifices made by all law enforcement officers who have died in the line of duty. This week was proclaimed National Law Enforcement Week in 1962 by then President John F. Kennedy. At this time, we would like to extend a special welcome to the families of the St. Paul officers who have died in the line of duty. Those family members present, please stand if you are able and remain standing so you may be recognized. Present today are family members of officers including Daniel O'Connell, Albert J. Cuneen, John J. O'Brien, Gerald D. Vick, Calbert H. Leedham, James T. Sackett Sr., Ronald M. Ryan Jr., Joshua P. Lino, Hans Amold, Alan G. Lee, John H. Larson, Timothy J. Jones. Thank you. Please be seated. Our keynote speaker today is Andrew M. Luger, United States Attorney for the District of Minnesota. From the St. Paul Police Chaplains Program, we have Father Pat McCorkle. From the St. Paul Police Department, our Chief, Thomas Smith. Also seated with us are members of the City Council, including Councilmember Chris Tolbert, who is also here on behalf of Mayor Chris Coleman. Before we move on, we would like to acknowledge the presence of past award recipients of the St. Paul Police Department's Medal of Valor and Medal of Merit. Those of you who have received either medal, please raise your hand so you may be recognized for your bravery and meritorious service. Councilmember Chris Tolbert was born and raised in the city of St. Paul. He graduated from St. Paul Central High School and attended St. John's University, and he also received a law degree from Hamline University School of Law. He is currently a Hennepin County attorney. Councilmember Tolbert was elected to the City Council representing St. Paul's 3rd Ward in November of 2011. Here on behalf of Mayor Chris Coleman and the City Council, Chris Tolbert.
Chief Smith, members of the St. Paul Police Department, members of the law enforcement community, families of those who serve and those who have served, distinguished guests, thank you for having me here today on behalf of the City of St. Paul. Today is a solemn occasion. It is an occasion to celebrate and honor the lives that these officers have given on behalf of our city, and also to honor the risk of life that all the men and women who put on that badge take every day, every week, and every year. Today we remember the 31 officers who have fallen wearing a St. Paul Police Department badge. We also recognize the 42 officers who have fallen nationwide just this year. These men and women have given the ultimate sacrifice in order to defend and protect the peace, tranquility, and order of our community. Each officer leaves behind a family, friends, their fellow officers, and a community and city who miss and mourn them. We miss and mourn the life that was ended too early and know that the void that their loss creates can never be replaced. This is why today we don't just honor those who have fallen, but also those who have lost them. Law enforcement is not just another job. It's a career that greatly impacts an entire family. So today we honor the mother, the father, the husband, the wife, the child, the brother, the sister, and all those loved ones who worry every shift whether the officer that they love will come home that night alive. And more so, we honor the families who not just had to have that worry, but who have had to face that unimaginable reality that the one officer that they love will not be coming home. Our thoughts and our prayers are with all of you. But today is also a day that we can honor the men and women, many of whom here today, who have the courage to continue to serve despite the risk that they know that they take. It can be a dangerous world, and there are some dangerous people out there. but this department and its officers continue to make St. Paul a safe city. Words can be insufficient to convey gratitude, but we still must try. So on behalf of my council colleagues, the mayor, and all the residents of St. Paul, thank you to all the officers who have fallen. Thank you to the families who have sacrificed a loved one on behalf of the city of St. Paul. Thank you to all the officers and their families who put on that badge every day, knowing the risks so that the rest of us can be safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Tolbert, and thank you to the rest of the council that is here today and it was able to make it. Thomas Smith has been with the St. Paul Police Department for 25 years. He has worked in a variety of assignments and currently serves as St. Paul's 40th Chief of Police. Chief Smith has strong held beliefs in community policing and community engagement. Included in his values are a deep respect for all those who serve in law enforcement and keep our communities safe. Chief Smith's respect stems from an understanding that this safety comes at a cost that those who wear a uniform are often asked to pay. Ladies and gentlemen, our Chief, Thomas Smith.
Thank you and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Right before my official remarks here, I want to send out a special thanks to our Historical Society for being with us here today. Also, that will toll the bell. All the officers that are here are partners from other departments, from Ramsey County Sheriff's Department, our great partners, to Metro Transit, to all the K-9 officers behind us that are going to be graduating next week from various departments from our St. Paul Police Department K-9 school. That's what this is all about, my friends. Truly a family. And to those officers and family members that are out in Washington, D.C., and I'll mention that in a moment, we send our heartfelt thoughts to them as well, but especially to the families that are here today. 52 years the St. Paul Police Department has honored our fallen officers. And I'm going to tell you something. Most departments throughout the country, they think about those officers, but they don't have the traditions that this organization does. And it's because of our family members that are here with us today, and that come every single year, rain or shine. And I see so many little ones here, and there's stories behind all of them, and you'll hear some of those later on, that are here with us as well. Never ever forget to continue to help us pass on that tradition. As I do it as your chief for our officers that are here, both our senior staff and our newer officers, I ask that we continue to do that as well, because that's what makes St. Paul and this department different than any other place, and why I'm so proud to be the chief of police here. Good afternoon, and thank you for being with us this afternoon. Winston Churchill once said, "All the great things are simple, and many can be expressed in a single word: freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, and hope." Today we will remember those who have given their lives serving the public and law enforcement, giving their lives in the most precious and the most honorable gift that they could give. As you heard earlier, in 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Week, and the week in which that date falls as Police Week. National Police Week pays special recognition to law enforcement officers who have given that ultimate sacrifice. They have lost their lives in the line of duty for our safety and the protection of others. Our department has felt that terrible loss 32 times, and most recently last year with the loss of Officer Joshua Lino. Officer Lino's name will be added to the National Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. this week. A group of 30 officers has traveled there to attend the event and support the Lino family. Generous citizens donated the funds, which made it possible for those officers to make that trip. And I'm flying to D.C. tonight to join the group shortly after this ceremony. I want to stop for a second and just talk about, again, our city. You know what? We had a lot of people that gave a lot of donations to send those officers out to Washington, D.C. The last time I was there, it's difficult to talk about, but it was healing for me, was with the Vick family, who was with us here today. Connie and Maggie and all the rest of the family, Ken. And it is unbelievable recognition to our law enforcement officers throughout the entire country. If you've never been there, take a vacation once and go out and see what happens there. The candlelight vigil, the President of the United States meeting with the families of fallen officers. It's something that you will never forget in your life. And I am excited to go out and be with the rest of our officers to honor the Lionel family this afternoon. Taking the oath of office as a police officer comes with many inherent risks. It means being courageous during dangerous encounters, taking care of your fellow officers in the most stressful of situations, and most importantly, my friends, always protecting the public that we serve. It's not part of our job we often think about, not being able to come home to our loved ones when our shifts are over. But this is a commitment we all readily accept. Today, we are also here to pay tribute to the families of our fallen officers, who year after year, as I said before, rain or shine, come to honor their loved ones who so proudly served our city. In fact, it is your day for us to honor each one of you and the great sacrifices each of you have had to bear. This also marks the 20th anniversary of the loss of Officer Timothy Jones and Ronald Ryan Jr. These men were my friends, our friends, and I would like to extend a special greeting to their families today. To all the family members present, please know that each and every man and woman standing here today in blue and brown and all sorts of other colors are here to pay tribute to each one of you. We are here to continue our tradition of honoring the officers who have sacrificed their lives to ensure the safety of our city. And as I mentioned earlier, we have done so for the past 52 years. And my friends, we're going to keep on going for the next 52 years as well and beyond. Many of you have come to this ceremony for a very long time. I see that as a young officer and someone who's been here 25 years. Whether you are spouses, grandparents, aunts and uncles, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and in some cases, my friends, as I've said earlier, great-great-grandchildren, we are blessed by your presence each and every year. It is what sets this department aside from others and helps us to keep the memories alive. I ask only one small favor from you, and I already did it because I went off my script. Please continue to pass on this legacy of honoring your loved ones for generations to come, because we should never, ever, ever forget those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Ceremonies like this are part of the St. Paul Police tradition. It is important for us to remember to share these traditions with those who follow us. We will keep the memories alive by passing them along to the next generation of our youngest officers. I wish to take this opportunity to mention the beautiful St. Paul Police Department Wall of Honor that was installed in the lobby of our headquarters building last fall. The members of the St. Paul Police Department Historical Society spent over 2 years designing and coordinating construction to provide a lasting memorial to our fallen officers. All funding for this project was made through public donations. I encourage each and every one of you, and you're always welcome to our Police Department headquarters building at 367 Grove, but really to stop by and take a look at the Wall of Honor if you have not seen it yet. It is unbelievable. It is very impressive. I extend my heartfelt thank you to all the members of the Historical Society. You will see several of them here today in their period costumes, because without your efforts, that would not have happened. So thank you. And let's give them a round of applause, by the way. In closing, I stand with you here in the middle of our city and with our police officers, our civilian staff, and our community at large to honor those 32 members of our department whom we have lost over the years. Thank you for being here to help us remember and to honor those officers who have given their lives. Let us never forget their sacrifices.
Thank you, Chief Smith. Andrew M. Luger was formally nominated by President Obama on November 21st, 2013, unanimously confirmed by the United States Senate on February 12th, and sworn in on February 14th, 2014, as United States Attorney for the District of Minnesota. From 1989 to 1992, U.S. Attorney Luger served as an Assistant United States Attorney in the Eastern District of New York, and from 1992 to 1995, in the District of Minnesota, where he prosecuted a wide variety of narcotics, and violent crime cases, as well as major white-collar crime cases. Mr. Luger was a partner at Green Espel in Minneapolis from 1995 to 2014. His practice there focused on complex business litigation and white-collar criminal defense. He received his JD from Georgetown University Law Center, magna cum laude, and earned his bachelor's degree from Amherst College, summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa. Ladies and gentlemen, United States Attorney Andrew M. Luger.
Every day, every single day, each of you wakes up in the morning and goes to work under dangerous circumstances. And every day, each of you puts your life at risk to protect the rest of us, to protect me, to protect my family, my neighbors, and my friends. No matter how many times I read these words, no matter how many times I practiced this speech, I cannot get over this simple fact. You, my friends in the St. Paul Police Department, care so much for our community that you take on that risk every day. I will never know, truly know, what you live with every day. I will never know what it is to say goodbye to your spouse, your partner, your friends in the morning with the threat of danger in front of you. And I will never know the pain felt by these courageous families who are here with us today. But while I will never share that experience, I have a profound and unshakable respect for you, the officers of the St. Paul Police Department, and your families. As a Minnesotan and as a prosecutor, I stand here today with only pride in you, our law enforcement family. No one drafted you. No one made you choose this honorable profession and life commitment. You wanted to serve. And despite the risks, your families supported you as the families of the fallen officers continue to support their loved ones year after year. As the new United States Attorney for Minnesota, I have given many speeches, and I'm told I'm going to be giving a lot more. But I cannot imagine any speech that will mean more to me than the one I'm giving today. Since 1882, 32 of your fellow officers gave their lives for the safety of our community. Years ago, some were killed riding horses, patrolling neighborhoods. More recently, officers have died in car chases on a police motorcycle, or even simply while helping someone cross the street. Some, like John Joseph O'Brien, were killed by a suspect fleeing officers. When Ron Ryan Jr. was shot and killed on Friday, August 26, 1994, he was only 26 years old. His family, like so many of you here today, has lived with that pain for all of these years. Tim Jones was off duty that day, but he volunteered to try to find Ryan's assailant. Because of his bravery and dedication, he too lost his life that day. Their families, their friends, and their community will never forget that day. And I pledge to you that we in the United States Attorney's Office will never forget them. Never. It has been 9 years since Gerald Vick was killed protecting these very streets. All of you here today honor his memory and his family by upholding the high standards that he set for himself. And many members of the family of Joshua Lino are in Washington, D.C. today, where his name is being added to the Wall of Honor. And some are here today, and we are grateful for your presence. And let us be clear, there are many more of you who have faced extreme danger. With us today is Officer Tim Moore, who will ring the bell in a few moments. Not long ago, Officer Moore was shot in the chest, but survived due to the vest that he was wearing. Officer Moore, we are so grateful and so pleased that you are with us today. Your dedication to the memories of these 32 fallen officers is remarkable and inspiring. And let me give just two examples. Calbert Leedham died in 1926 in a motorcycle accident, yet his family returns to honor his memory year after year. Albert Canine died on July 3rd, 1925. He was a motorcycle patrolman killed while pursuing a suspect. Patrolman Canine was a decorated, courageous officer. Like Calbert Leedham, since he died almost 90 years ago, one might wonder that his bravery would be forgotten, but not today, and not by this police force. With us here today, on May 14th, 2014, is Albert Canine's 5-year-old great-great-granddaughter. Her name is Summer. Come on up, Summer. At 5 years old, this girl wants to honor the memory of this brave patrolman. Summer, you make us proud, and we know that even though you're only 5 years old, we can expect great things from you in the future, and I hope you never forget this day for your great-great-grandfather. Recently, my friends in the St. Paul Police Department helped stop a brutal kidnapping and torture by ruthless drug cartel enforcers. Because of your quick thinking and good police work, we are now prosecuting these defendants for the violence that they brought to our neighborhood. And as Chief Smith and I have talked about many times, you are taking the lead in one of the largest, most complex cases in my office. I am so proud to be working with you, our friends and dedicated public servants. You, the officers of the St. Paul Police Department, are our trusted partners in seeking justice. You honor the United States Attorney's Office with your great work and your commitment. And I pledge to you that our partnership will be strong and vibrant as we work together to protect our community and honor these great 32 fallen officers. Every day, as you leave home for your jobs, know that your partners in the United States Attorney's Office are with you. We admire you, we respect you, and we look forward to the great work that we will do together. To 5-year-old Summer, and to the families who are with us today, you will be in our thoughts always. May God bring peace to all who have fallen. And together, we pray for the safety of all on the job today. We have lost 32 heroes. Let there be no more. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Luger. At this time, wreaths will be presented in honor of our department's heroes who paid the ultimate price for our safety and security. Please stand if you are able. The wreath donated by the St. Paul Police Federation is being presented by Federation Vice President Jim Fakowski and Treasurer Mark Ross. The wreath being presented by the St. Paul Police Foundation is being brought up by Shelley Rose and Todd Russell. wreath donated by the St. Paul Police Retirement Association is being presented by retired Commander Mike McGinn and retired Commander Lisa McGinn. The wreath donated by Public Safety Post number 449 is being presented by retired officer Ed Beelman and Larry McDonald. The wreath donated by the St. Paul Police Reserve Officers is being presented by Reserve Officers Mary McDonald and Janelle Gedkamp. The wreath donated by the St. Paul Police Explorers is being presented by Explorers Billy Bartos and Jonathan Douglas. The wreath donated by the St. Paul Police Chaplains is being presented by Rabbi Meyer Rubenfeld and Eric Wymore. The St. Paul Federation Memorial Bell Ringer for today's event is Officer Tim Moore. Chief Smith will now read the roll call of the department's officers who have died in the line of duty.
Daniel O'Connell. Hans Hansen. Thomas McCarrick. Charles Mayer. James W. Finn. Richard Cronin. Frank W. Frazier. Michael P. Sullivan. Hans G. Amold. Paul H. Gottfried. William W. McClintock. George R. Stenger. E. Earl Hackert. William F. Wilson. Frank Milanowski. Albert J. Canine. John Schultz. Fred A. Peach. Calbert H. Leedham. Axel J. Sodelberg.
Absent.
Matthew M. Weiss. Lawrence F. Tierney. Richard G. Hinshaw. Alan G. Lee. Alfred V. Sandquist. James T. Sackett, Sr. John H. Larson. John J. O'Brien. Ronald M. Ryan, Jr. Timothy J. Jones. Gerald D. Vick. Joshua P. Lino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing in preparation of the 21-gun salute.
Honor! Present! Hold! Ignorance! Present! On! Detail. Hurry. Ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now ask Father McCorkle to give the benediction.
As we conclude our ritual together, let us be mindful of what we've done, that we've reached back into the past in our memory, not to stay there, but to find something to bring forward. We remembered not the fact simply that these officers died, but we remember what they stood for. And we wish to lay hold of those values and that vision and to bring it to bear on our life. We came here as family, as friends, as companions in service. And so we now ask God to bless us and allow us to carry forth what we have found in our memories. Lord our God, at the dawn of creation, you breathed your life into our soul. We carry that treasure. Please help us to carry it honorably and well. Bless our memories, Lord, that we hold to that which is sacred. Bless our companionship, Lord, that we be for one another support and example. And Lord God, please shape our vision, that we may see each day unfold in a manner that gives glory to your name and dignity to our brothers and sisters. Amen.
Please be seated. In closing, we would like to thank all of you attending today's service, especially the officers from other law enforcement agencies who help us honor ours as we honor theirs. It is important that we always remember our fallen officers and honor them for making the ultimate sacrifice. Thanks to all of those in uniform who work the street as the first line, the front line, the visible line of safety for all of us wherever we go. Let us also remember all of those people serving our country on active military duty, including the St. Paul police officers Raymar Davis and David Rudd. I would also like to add a special thanks to everyone who helped make this memorial service possible, especially Commander Jill McRae, Ed Steenberg, and a big thank you to Tina Curtis. Please join us at the conclusion of the service for cake and refreshments. I ask now that you please stand for the retirement of the colors. Commander Lozoya, retire the colors.
Honor guard. Hood. Detail. Right shoulder. Hood. Five. Hey. With a half step. A word. Honor guard.